Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, we just had another closure here in East Oakland, and it's by a big restaurant name here that's been in Oakland for 54 years. Denny's. Denny's of Oakland, out at 601 Hagenberger Road, um, is calling it quits because of crime. And also they're concerned for their workers who live in a very dangerous zone. Um, in fact, I know a lot about this particular Denny's. Uh, Back in the 90s, one of my personal friends managed the night shift at Denny's right there on Hagenberger. And he eventually left Denny's and started his own business, his own food service, his own restaurant, um, Swice's Euros. And he operated at the Emeryville uh, market for nearly 3 decades after that, and until the Emeryville market finally was no more. Essentially, it all the business had gone away from there. But anyway, um, the Denny's restaurant, I last visited there last year. In fact, if you go back on some of my Facebook, some of my YouTube videos, you will actually see me complaining about paying $50 for a Denny's breakfast, and it was just two, myself and my friend. We had typical breakfast, nothing very special. I had a chicken fried steak, and my friend had something along, kind of like the old Denny's special, the Grand Slam special, but the Grand Slam special wasn't such a Grand Slam. In fact, it was a big strikeout for us because my meal was tiny. I couldn't believe the how tiny the chicken fried steak had gotten. The chicken fried steak looked like about a 4-inch hamburger patty, 4-inch diameter hamburger patty. That's what it was. That's what it was down to. Before, a chicken fried steak would cover half the plate. In fact, a lot of times at Denny's, you would have to have two plates brought to you for your meal. But on in this last instance, everything fit on one plate, and we only had coffee. There wasn't orange juice or anything like that, so it was a breakfast and coffee. My friend had his kind of like the Grand Slam breakfast, like I said, and it came up to $50, and that was before tax. So, or before tip, I should say. And so after adding tip on top of that, I'm well over $60 for breakfast for two people. And also the other downside to that particular Denny's is that right next door, literally right next door across the street, is the home base safe RV park for homeless, literally across the street from them. And then at the end of the street, there's a business down there which has been very hostile to the homeless, and a lot of things going on down there. And he claims that he's a community beautifier, but he's not. He's a complete liar. He's a con man. I exposed him back in 2018 for all the different things that he's done to the homeless, and also the harm that he's done throughout Oakland. He's committed federal crimes. Federal crimes. He was in federal court twice in 2018, and the judge admonished him. The magistrate admonished this person, and told him that he's very lucky that he's being allowed to walk because another cohort of that group went to prison. This person just had a very, very thin line of doubt as to his um, his involvement. So anyway, back to Denny's. It's a sad day here for Denny's. Like I said, I remember the Denny's from my early years when God, let's see, there was Home Base, there was Auto Parts Club at that location. Originally, it was White Front Stores because I remember White Front Stores back in the day, and then also I used to go by there because Malibu Grand Prix was literally right around the corner on Coliseum Way, along with the castle, and that's in little, literally right around the corner from there, and that was always a good place to go hang out after playing at Malibu Grand Prix, the castle. If you didn't eat there, you could go to Denny's. And then during the 90s, Denny's started having a lot of problems with the Dine and Dash group. And so there was a lot of controversy shortly after my friend had left. But he started the prepayment because that was the only way that he could understand that he would have the bill paid. So going around the corner, playing at Coliseum, and also that Denny served a lot of people that for decades after the events at the Coliseum would end, a lot of people would go to the Denny's and let the crowd thin out, have some coffee, have some snacks, desserts, or even a meal late night. And that was the other thing. They were the only thing that was pretty much open late night. They had carols at one time, which turned into the Black Bear Diner, which is now also closed a little further down Hagenberger Road. So a lot of things are happening, and I blame Mayor Shang Tao. I blame the Oakland City Council for putting and getting Oakland into this position by cutting the police force, cutting budgets of the IT, Oakland's IT center, cutting the budgets, cutting the budgets, cutting the budgets. That's all they did. And we are now suffering from all of those budget cuts. We have one of the weakest police forces out there in the nation right now. And Oakland is looked at as a joke. We're crime infested. We have murders going on. We are losing $1 million just in stolen vehicles every day in Oakland. $1 million in cars every day in Oakland. And I can take you literally right around the corner, and there's 8 cars right there in various states of disassembly on 77th Avenue. Because, again, Oakland knows that there's crime groups and there's crime hotspots, but yet they don't do anything about them. Shang Tao, you're not doing your job. You're incompetent, along with your entire staff. They all got to go. Oakland City Council, you got to go too, because you put us in this position by screaming, defund the police, defund the police, defund the police. This has got to change. We're losing businesses left and right. Pretty soon, Oakland's going to be a ghost town. And then once the businesses have all left, the residents aren't far behind. Residents are already scared. So what are we going to do? We need to change things. We need to change things now. Get rid of Shang Tao. Get rid of the Oakland City Council as it sits right now. vote in people who are going to make changes, get rid of Pamela Price, the weak district attorney. We need somebody who is going to take care of crime and uh, make the criminals accountable. We need to declare a state of emergency immediately so that we can bring in resources not only locally but from the state and federal level to deal with these criminals and crime. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.